guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles High Flying Turtle Blimp. That's right, the new Nick Turtles toy line gets its very own Turtle Blimp. The classic vehicle from the vintage line makes its return in a brand new style. This is one that I personally have been very excited about. The original Turtle Blimp from the vintage line is one of the single coolest vehicles in that lineup, and one that myself and many kids always dreamed of owning. And those that were lucky enough to own it, well, they were the superstars on the block. I, for one, never had the vintage one as a kid, so I'm pretty excited to be able to pick up this new one now. Let's go ahead and check it out. As you can see, it comes in actually a pretty small little box here, but don't let this small box fool you, because the balloon on the inside that creates the blimp is quite large. In fact, it's going to measure over 30 inches long, as you can see right there on the front of the box. There's some really great artwork that we've seen on all of the other Nick Turtles vehicles so far, showing the Turtles using the Turtle Blimp in action there, and flipping it around to the backside. It even gives us some stats on the toy itself, and shows it in action with some of the action figures. Now, when you open up the Turtle Blimp, you're going to notice that there is some assembly required. Kids are definitely going to grab their parents to help them get this one put together, but it's a very simple build. There is a sheet of instructions included that will help guide you through the process, and it's very helpful. But let me go ahead and show you some of the basics here. Once you get the bottom part of it all put together, you're going to want to attach the balloon portion before you inflate it. It's going to make it much easier to assemble. There are little plastic nubs on the bottom of the balloon that snap very firmly into the base of the underside. Once you get those snapped in, go ahead and take the little fins that are also supposed to be snapped onto the balloons. There's two larger fins and two smaller fins, with the two smaller fins being able to snap on the front of the balloon, and the two larger ones snapping onto the back of the balloon with those same little plastic nubs that we use to attach the balloon to the base. Once you get all of that stuff attached, it's time to blow this thing up. This is definitely where kids are going to want to enlist the help of their parents, because it takes a lot of breath to get this thing expanded. It might even be a little more helpful if you've got one of those air pumps laying around. It'll be way easier than trying to inflate it yourself. But once all that hard work is over, it pays off, and this is what we end up with. This, my friends, is the brand new Turtle Blimp, and you can see how massive this is. Let me go ahead and zoom out here so you guys can get a better look at it. This thing is so much fun. So like I said, this thing is going to measure over 30 inches long. The exact measurement from the back of the balloon to the front end of the balloon is 33 inches in length. And from the bottom all the way to the top is 24 inches. So it stands right at 2 feet tall. This is a massive vehicle. Fans of the old line will notice that there are some definite similarities here. First of all, the design of the bottom is similar to the old vehicle, however it is not the same. This is a brand new sculpt, so it is a little bit different from the old one. One of the big differences I notice on here is that this new one does not have real working wheels. The old one actually had little plastic wheels that could spin so you can roll it around on the surfaces. This one just has the hard plastic wheels that are part of the mold, so they don't actually roll. But the overall shape is very similar to the vintage one there, and it's got a little seat on the front with handlebars so we can plug on any of our little action figures, and they fit quite nicely. I've actually got Donatello sitting on the front of mine there. And it's just kind of done in this gold and green color there. It's got a little bit of a nice wash on there, so it helps bring out some of the cool sculpted details on the bottom part. There's a lot of cool little features on there as well. You'll notice that there are like 4 hook devices on either side of the vehicle. And you can see that I've already got my Ninja Turtles already stored there, ready to rappel down. This includes a rappelling action feature. That whole zipline thing has been a common theme across all of the Nick Turtles figures, and I really like that. So you'll notice that it's got those same bright green neon colored rappel lines there that are attached to the sides of the blimp. There is 2 on either side, and there are large black hooks that you can attach to the belts of your action figures. So any of your turtles that have belts or anything like that should be able to attach those little hooks. I'm using the Storage Shell Turtles, and it's worth noting that their belts are kind of part of the sculpt, so you have to get a little creative and attach the hooks to their little weapon holsters, but it works all the same. The hook's still attached there. Now, these little clamp hooks on the side are meant to kind of store the turtles when you're in flight. If you want to actually use the rappelling feature, you'll want to take them out of those hooks. So we'll move them from the little C hooks there. And you can see we get a little Michelangelo here. I get him dangling by this hook. And then if you press the little green button on the front, it sends your turtle rappelling down. So we'll send Raphael down here. Let's get him out of his hook. Push this little green button. Sends Raphael down. So once all your turtles are rappelled down, it's very easy just to kind of wind these back up. They're just little red knobs on the sides here. You just kind of wind them up. You'll notice it's got a little bit of a notch in there, so it's a little click, winds up there. And then we can get our rappel lines wound up, and we're ready for the next time we want to hook them up and send them down for another rappelling. So the action features are really fun on this thing. And the balloon itself is very cool because it's very reminiscent of exactly what we saw on the vintage line there. You can see all the cool designs on the balloon. It's got the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo going right across the balloon on the side there. You got all this cool stitch work and everything. But one of the things I find really neat about this new balloon is it's actually shaped like a turtle. You'll really notice it from the top-down view. The little fins even look like flippers on a sea turtle, and the front of the balloon even comes to the shape of a turtle's head, and the little headlights on the top look like the turtle's eyes. The stitching all over the balloon looks like a turtle shell, so it's a really cool and unique take on the old turtle blimp. It's fun the way it shapes like a turtle like that. Just definitely looks like something that would fit the new cartoon series, and I'm certain this is something we're going to be see appearing in the new cartoon at some point. Alright, so we got the new turtle blimp out here. I was talking about how cool the vintage one was, how this is very similar to the vintage one, how I never had a vintage one as a kid, but guess what? I have a vintage one now, so it's comparison time! Here's a look at the new Nick Turtles turtle blimp sitting alongside the vintage turtle blimp. You can see both of these vehicles are massive. They are about the same size. I was a little worried that the new one was a bit smaller, but that is definitely not the case. The shape of the balloons are different, but the size itself is about exactly the same on both blimps. So as you can see, the new one here compares very well to the vintage one. And I think fans of the vintage turtle blimp and new Nick Turtles fans are really going to love this vehicle just as much as we did when we were kids. Overall, I think it's a really great design. It's nice and it's sturdy. The balloon doesn't seem to have any problems detaching from the base whatsoever. It's also a nice sturdy balloon, so it doesn't feel like it's going to be popping or anything like that by mistake, except for maybe with some rough wear. I mean, stuff like that is bound to happen. One thing that's nice is there's even a little included clear sheet of stickers in there that you can use to patch up any little holes or anything that might get put in it by some kids just kind of roughhousing with it too much. So nice that Playmates was thinking ahead just a little bit. So overall, I think this is a fantastic new vehicle. I'm really excited that both collectors will be able to pick this up and add it to their collection, but also excited that kids that are fans of the new cartoon series will get a chance to experience the turtle blimp for the first time. Check this out, there's even a little hang tab on the top that you can kind of fold up and you can hang it from your ceiling. That would look good in a kid's room or a collector's room. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles turtle blimp is already starting to hit store shelves right now, so happy hunting, my friends, and until next time.